What if I told you the most important person in Checkmat history isn't Leo Vieira? What if the man actually responsible for building one of the most dominant competition teams in BJJ history just walked out the door? Quietly, cleanly, and deliberately. And nobody on the inside said a single word. No thank you, no tribute, no acknowledgement. Just silence. And that silence? That's the story. Lucas Leite arrives in California in 2007, sets up in La Habra, and for the next 2 decades, he gets to work. But before we talk about what he built, let's talk about who he was. This is a man who was competing at the highest level for over 15 years. Multiple-time gi world champion, multiple-time no-gi world champion, Pan-American champion, European champion. And he did it in a way nobody else did. Lucas is a natural lightweight, but he would intentionally compete 2 weight classes above his division against guys 30 to 40 pounds heavier just to prove his system worked. The Coyote half guard, a technique he pioneered and refined to the point where size became irrelevant. Bigger opponent just meant more leverage. He competed at his 14th Ibjjf Worlds while simultaneously running a full competition camp and affiliation program, while on the mats also competing and coaching. That's who walked into La Habra in 2007 and started building. And the results speak for themselves. Adam Wardzinski, from Europe, 2-time Pan-American champion, 2-time world champion. Lucas was the coach in the corner. Elder Cruz, no-gi world's absolute champion. Lucas discovered him, promoted him to black belt, built him from the ground up. Jackson Nagai, world champion, Lucas's guy. Tata Ribeiro, world champion, Lucas's gym. Sam Nagai, world champion, same camp. This isn't a coincidence. This is a system. Lucas built a machine that produced world champions at a rate that most teams can only dream about. Every single one of those gold medals went on Checkmat's record. Every single one of those wins fed the brand, fed the affiliated gyms, fed the business. Lucas stayed for all of it, coached all of it, cornered all of it. And then, right after 3 of his prodigies won worlds, he walked out. Not before, not during, after. He made sure his people crossed the finish line first, then he left. That's not a coincidence. To understand why Lucas leaving matters, you have to understand what was already happening inside Checkmat before he walked out. Because this didn't happen in a vacuum. Late March 2026. Jackson Douglas, Checkmat black belt, another Lucas Leite prodigy, one of their own, is at Checkmat HQ in Long Beach training. Gets into a conversation about an internal tournament he's organizing at a non-affiliated gym. Not a competing team, not a rival academy, a recreational gym. Students who aren't even competing. An internal tournament just to keep beginners motivated. Leo Vieira's wife joins the conversation, asks where he's teaching. He tells her. She says he can't teach at a non-affiliated academy. He explains, the gym owner has no interest in affiliating with any team. His students aren't competing against anyone. It's recreational. It's just people trying to learn jiu-jitsu. Doesn't matter. She keeps pushing. Says he's building students to compete against Checkmat. Then the conversation shifts. They tell him he needs to teach exclusively at Checkmat academies. He says it straight. No Checkmat academy pays him what he earns today. They hit him with the speech. Sacrifice. Think long-term. Put the team first. And Jackson Douglas, to his credit, says exactly what needed to be said. How am I supposed to think long-term when rent is due next month and my car payment is due? And then he drops the hypocrisy on the table. There are multiple other Checkmat members teaching at non-affiliated academies right now. Nobody is saying anything to them. 2 days later, Sunday morning, Leo Vieira removes him from the team. No phone call, no conversation, no warning to his professor Lucas Leite, no explanation given to the man who trained him. The official reason? He didn't put the Checkmat patch on his gi on Friday. The Friday where he never even took his gi out of his bag because he spent the entire session talking to Leo's wife. The Checkmat group chat response gets circulated. The framing: discipline, teamwork, good character. Laziness, ingratitude, and pride damage a team. Wearing a shirt doesn't make you part of a team. If those are truly your values, you're on the wrong team. The community saw the screenshots. The community sided with Douglas. And Lucas Leite, whose prodigy just got removed for being honest about rent by Leo's wife with a fake excuse about a patch with zero conversation with Lucas beforehand, watched all of it happen. Let that sit for a second. Your guy, built inside your system, thrown out without anyone even picking up the phone to call you first. What does that tell you about how much your loyalty actually means to this organization? Jackson Douglas wasn't the only one who saw the writing on the wall. Elder Cruz, Lucas's most famous product, the athlete he promoted to black belt, the man he built from colored belt to no-gi world's absolute champion, quietly left Checkmat in 2025. The student left before the teacher. And now, with Lucas gone, it's reasonable to ask where Jackson Nagai, Tata Ribeiro, and Sam Nagai land. Because in BJJ, athletes follow coaches. Not logos, not patches, not affiliation fees. They follow the person who was actually in the room when they became world champions. If those athletes follow Lucas out, and there's every reason to believe they will, then Checkmat didn't just lose a coach. They lost the engine of their entire operation. Now, let's talk about the man whose logo is on everything. Leo Vieira is a legend. The foundation, the lineage, the name, that's real and nobody's disputing it. But here's the reality of what Checkmat looks like in 2025 and 2026. Leo is hardly on the mats. He shows up for training camps. He shows up when the cameras are around. He appears at the big moments. And then he collects. Checkmat has hundreds of affiliated gyms worldwide. Every single one pays affiliation fees. Every single one sells memberships partly on the reputation of being a Checkmat school, a team that produces world champions. Who produced those world champions? Lucas Leite. The athletes that built Checkmat's modern reputation, built in Lucas's gym, developed through Lucas's system, coached by Lucas in the corner. Those wins fed Leo's business, fed the affiliation model, fed the brand that hundreds of gyms are paying to be part of. Lucas gets a corner spot. Leo gets the checks. And when one of Lucas's guys had the nerve to go earn his own money outside the Checkmat ecosystem, to pay his own rent without waiting for a Checkmat affiliate to pay him what he's worth, Leo's wife made it a loyalty issue, and Leo made it a removal. No conversation with Lucas, no warning, no respect for the man whose work made all of those affiliation fees worth paying in the first place. So the question is simple. Is there a rift between Leo Vieira and Lucas Leite? Neither of them is talking, but the evidence is sitting right in front of you. Lucas Leite corners 3 of his athletes to world titles at Worlds, watches them win, then walks out the door. No statement, no explanation, no farewell post. And from Checkmat, the organization he spent 19 years building, not a single word of acknowledgement. Not a thank you, not a tribute, not a graphic. Nothing. Organizations don't forget to thank people who gave them 20 years. That silence is a choice. And choices like that don't get made unless something happened that makes a public acknowledgement impossible. Lucas Leite doesn't need Checkmat. His name was already on the building before he left. His own gym, his own lineage, his own athletes, who will almost certainly follow him. He didn't just leave. He may have taken the empire with him. And Leo Vieira, who built a business on the back of Lucas's coaching, may be about to find out exactly how much of Checkmat's success had nothing to do with the logo. 20 years of building someone else's house. Now he gets to build his own. Lucas Leite hasn't said anything publicly. Leo hasn't said anything. Checkmat hasn't said anything. But the Jackson Douglas situation is documented. Elder Cruz leaving is documented. 3 world championships and an immediate exit. That's documented. The only question left is whether this is the beginning of something new for Lucas Leite, or the beginning of something very uncomfortable for Checkmat. Drop your thoughts below. If you're inside this world, if you train at a Checkmat affiliate, or if you know something, the comments are open. Because in BJJ, it always comes out eventually.